Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine the festive rush, right? The joy of the holidays, twinkling lights, gifts, all wrapped up. But behind that picture-perfect scene, for businesses, there's this unique and, well, intensifying set of challenges brewing for 2025. It could genuinely make or break their peak season. It's way more complex than just making sure there's enough tinsel.
Oh, indeed. I mean, while that traditional surge in consumer demand is absolutely expected, this year it arrives under, well, a pretty significant shadow of continued tariff-driven supply chain turbulence.
Turbulence, right?
Yeah, we're looking at layered uncertainties. You've got rapidly shifting duties, volatile sourcing patterns, maybe even unexpected geopolitical shifts hitting you. What's truly critical here, though, is that many forward-thinking supply chain leaders aren't just reacting. They're asking that deeper question. Okay, what's next, and how can we not just survive this, but actually thrive?
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. Just for you, this deep dive is basically your shortcut to being well-informed. We're extracting the most important insights, the key strategies from our expensive sources, including guidance from ASCM Houston, our mission, to help you navigate these tricky holiday supply chain challenges with agility, resilience, and a real laser focus on keeping your customers happy and, well, your bottom line healthy. So let's get right into the heart of it. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting and honestly a little urgent. Those tariffs introduced earlier in 2025. They've already started to ripple through the system. Costs are up, logistics are way more complicated for a lot of companies. And our sources are telling us that for many brands, the heaviest financial hits are actually expected to land smack in the fourth quarter. Now, here's a crucial insight. If you wait until, say, October or November to really adjust your strategies, well, you're not just looking at a slight increase.
No, not at all.
You're likely facing significantly higher landed costs and, frankly, dangerously tight margins. This can turn what should be your most profitable season into, like, a desperate scramble. We could end up selling hot items at a loss. It's a common trap, but you can avoid it with some foresight.
Yeah, and a key insight that really jumps out from our analysis is how these tariffs are forcing this fundamental, almost instantaneous reevaluation across the whole supply chain. It's way beyond traditional cost cutting.
Right.
It's not just tweaking existing processes anymore. It's proactively rethinking everything, your core sourcing locations, shipping routes, even the nitty-gritty of custom stocks, all in real time. For instance, some companies are now strategically tiering their supplier relationships, not just by cost, right? But by geopolitical stability and how well a supplier has proven they can handle duty changes.
Interesting, like a hedging strategy almost.
Exactly. It creates this kind of dynamic tariff hedging portfolio. By doing this early, companies create options. They preserve profitability instead of getting trapped and scrambling when demand peaks. It really comes down to skill, preparation, but also, a new level of strategic planning.
That really underlines the urgency. So for our listeners thinking, okay, where do I even start with something this big? What's the first most critical step? And what comes next, practically speaking? All right, here's your immediate action plan for getting those sourcing shifts handled. First, audit supplier exposure. You need to meticulously identify all your suppliers in tariff-affected markets. And crucially, don't just stop at your direct Tier 1 folks. Our sources really emphasize digging into Tier 2, even Tier 3.
That's vital.
You might find a critical component for your bestseller is suddenly caught in a tariff net through a sub-supplier you barely knew existed. Talk about a hidden cost bomb. Second, run cost simulations. Use those advanced forecasting tools, and ASCM and its members often share some pretty robust models for this to accurately estimate potential cost changes. This isn't just looking at one tariff rate. It's modeling ripple effects, currency shifts, freight cost jumps, getting the true picture of your landed costs. And third, prioritize alternative suppliers. Don't just think about it. Start shortlisting new vendors now. Get those initial qualification processes going.
Yep, samples, small test orders.
Exactly. Vet their capacity, their quality, their lead times. It's not a quick fix. Think of it as a strategic investment in your future flexibility.
Being proactive rather than reactive truly is the name of the game here.
Absolutely. So, okay, we've covered the initial hit on costs and sourcing, but once those goods are ready, just getting them from point A to point B, that presents another huge layer of holiday challenge, especially with these tariffs in play. We've seen how fast things can go sideways, right? Tariff-driven shipment surges can just make normal holiday port congestion way worse. It makes an already busy time, well, chaotic.
It's not just the usual holiday rush, it's that rush plus companies trying to beat tariff deadlines or reroute shipments last minute.
Exactly.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really is about elevating foresight in logistics beyond just booking early. We're seeing companies use predictive analytics now to anticipate port dwell times. They're
Oh, yeah.
looking at historical data, real-time vessel tracking, even weather patterns.
Oh,
Gaining even just 1 week of lead time now can prevent needing that incredibly costly last-minute air freight later. Which, by the way, can be like 10 to 15 times more expensive than ocean freight.
10 to 15 times. Ouch.
Yeah. And here's the surprising thing. Some companies are finding the cost of an extra week of ocean freight storage is often tiny compared to the premium you pay for expedited shipping under pressure. The focus has to be on mitigating those single points of failure.
That's a crucial distinction. It's not just about speed, it's about smart, cost-effective staging. Okay, so for your immediate action plan on navigating that rush and trying to avoid port gridlock, first, book carrier space early. We really can't stress this enough. Get those bookings secured well before September. Demand always spikes, but with tariff-induced rerouting. Available space gets even tighter, and those last-minute surcharges can just kill your margins. Think of it like reserving your spot on a highway everyone else is about to flood. Second, diversify entry points. Planning routes through multiple ports, that's not a luxury anymore, it's a necessity. If one port has a labor issue, a big storm, or just unusual congestion, remember that October 2024 dock worker strike. The backlogs just rippled through retail inventories. Having alternatives can save you.
It spreads the risk, keeps things moving.
Exactly. And third, pre-position inventory. Use those regional distribution centers for your holiday critical SKUs. This might mean making strategic warehousing decisions earlier than usual. Get goods closer to your target markets for faster fulfillment. It reduces reliance on one potentially overwhelmed central hub during peak time.
Smart.
So, with all these rising costs, tariffs, shipping, labor, the big question for so many businesses becomes, how do we protect our profitability? How do we avoid selling at a loss during what should be our busiest season? Higher tariffs, rising freight, climbing labor costs, it's all adding up. There's just less room for those deep holiday discounts we've all kind of gotten used to.
Right.
And for companies still relying on static pricing models, there's a real danger they might find themselves selling high-demand stuff at a loss, simply because their underlying costs have shifted so dramatically. This doesn't just hit profits. It can hurt your brand perception if customers feel they're overpaying, or if you have to suddenly cut promotions right at the last minute.
And this really raises an important question, doesn't it? How quickly can your teams actually respond to cost fluctuations in real time? Not just in theory, but in practice.
Good point.
The solution really lies in implementing dynamic pricing and, just as importantly, sophisticated real-time margin tracking. It's not just about changing prices willy-nilly. It's about having the intelligence to make rapid adjustments to promotions while actively protecting profitability right down to the SKU level. Our sources show leading companies are equipping their teams with dashboards that update SKU-level landed costs daily. Think about that.
Bailey, wow.
Yeah, it lets them respond to a tariff change or a sudden freight surcharge within the same week, instead of waiting for monthly financial reports that are already ancient history by the time you get them. This proactive approach means you're never really caught off guard.
That's a huge insight, turning data into rapid, actionable decisions. So to protect those precious margins, make sure you're not just moving product, but actually moving profitable product. Here's your immediate action plan. First, implement margin tracking. Go beyond basic sales reports. You need automated tools that monitor real-time SKU profitability. That means pulling together data from sourcing, logistics, sales, giving you that holistic, up-to-the-minute view of what each product really costs you and what margin it's making. Second, adopt dynamic pricing. Again, not arbitrary hikes. It's about having the agility to adjust promotional offers and pricing strategies quickly based on those cost fluctuations. Maybe use algorithms, preset rules to optimize pricing for profit while staying competitive. And third, review discount thresholds. Align your seasonal pricing and promo strategies with your true updated cost structure. Use those daily dashboards we mentioned to set clear, data-driven discount thresholds. This makes sure every promotion actually helps your bottom line, even during the most aggressive holiday sales push.
Absolutely critical.
Okay, moving beyond the immediate fixes now, let's talk about building more long-term resilience. Things like diversification and logistics redesign. Our sources highlight this really significant trend. Retailers aiming to seriously reduce their reliance on high tariff markets. Some have ambitious goals, like getting sourcing under 10% from certain countries like China.
It's a major strategic shift.
It's not just about solving today's tariff headache. It's about strategically redesigning your whole supply chain for tomorrow's unpredictable world, right? Geopolitics, economics. It's a long game, but those first steps are vital now.
That's precisely it. And while, a complete full-scale diversification takes time and serious investment, even partial shifts can make a difference, like sourcing just a few key SKUs from tariff-free countries. That can significantly ease Q4 cost pressure and also act as a kind of proof of concept for bigger changes.
Good point.
What often gets overlooked, though, is the importance of not just identifying potential new suppliers, but actively vetting backup suppliers now. Validate their production capacity, check quality standards, and crucially, test small orders. You got to build relationships, prove out those channels, and on the logistics side, develop alternative routing plans, have pre-negotiated contracts with multiple carriers. That lets you pivot quickly if congestion or delays hit your main lanes. This kind of flexibility, sometimes they call it anti-fragility, it's just paramount in today's volatile world.
Anti-fragility, I like that. Okay, so for building that crucial resilience and sort of future-proofing your supply chain, here's your immediate action plan. First, map backup suppliers. Don't just have a list, keep a vetted list. Confirm their production capacity, establish communication channels, maybe regular check-ins, even small orders, just to keep the relationship warm and ensure they can actually step in when needed. Second, test alternative lanes. Ship small test orders through those backup logistics routes. This helps you understand real-world transit times, customs hurdles, make sure your paperwork is right before you rely on them for big holiday shipments. And third, build redundancy into contracts. Make sure you have flexibility in your transport and supplier agreements. Look for clauses allowing volume shifts, alternative routing, clear expectations on lead times, and costs during disruptions. It's your safety net against the unexpected.
Sound advice.
Now, onto smart stocking. Look, forecasting holiday demand is tricky any year, right? But tariffs really raise the stakes. Why? Well, consumer behavior might shift unpredictably because of higher prices. Maybe your lead times fluctuate wildly due to new tariffs or rerouting. It's such a delicate balance.
It really is.
Overbuying too soon ties up purchase capital and inventory that might not move. But relying too heavily on just-in-time, you risk critical stockouts if duties or delays spike. We've all seen the headlines, too much stock, too little stock.
Right.
It's a real inventory tightrope walk.
And what's truly insightful here, I think, is moving beyond that simple stock or don't stock thinking. We need a more nuanced strategic view, often using advanced analytics. A tiered approach can help a lot. What does that mean? Well, you might aggressively stockpile your top-selling, high-margin, or absolute must-have SKUs way in advance. Give them ample buffer stock. Meanwhile, you keep secondary or less critical products on a leaner, more responsive schedule. The crucial part, identifying your must-have holiday products now, use predictive models on past sales, current trends, and then protect them with that buffer, even if it means scaling back orders for lower margin stuff. Because the cost of a lost sale on a must-have item, that can be far greater than the carrying cost of a bit more buffer stock.
That's a great distinction, strategically identifying your absolute must-haves. So for your strategic inventory planning, here's the immediate action plan. First, identify high-priority SKUs. Focus that buffer stock on the truly must-have seasonal products, the ones driving traffic, brand loyalty, big profits. Use data for this, not just gut feeling. Second, stage inventory strategically. Don't just bring all to one central warehouse. Place goods close into your target markets, maybe in regional micro-fulfillment centers. It means faster fulfillment, lower last-mile costs, needs foresight on where demand will actually pop up. And third, balance order timing. Avoid tying up too much capital in slow-moving stock that just sits there. Use sophisticated demand forecasting to time your orders. Get enough for peak demand without being stuck with a massive surplus after the holidays.
Makes sense.
Okay, let's talk about thinking ahead now. Anticipating the unpredictable. Because beyond tariffs, we know other things can hit us, right? Extreme weather, unexpected geopolitical shifts, labor disputes. They can disrupt peak season logistics seemingly out of nowhere. And here's where tech really steps up to the plate, helping you see around corners a bit. Companies investing in AI-driven simulations and these things called digital twins, virtual replicas modeling your entire supply chain in real time, inventory, logistics, even supplier networks.
Yeah, they're powerful tools.
They're just far better positioned to model the potential impact of different scenarios and prepare accordingly. It's all about proactive preparedness, not just reactive damage control.
And the practical application here is to start running sophisticated what-if exercises with your planning teams now, not next quarter, now. Simulate different scenarios. What if there's a sudden tariff hike on a key input? What if a major port gets clogged for weeks? What if a supplier has a shortfall because of a natural disaster?
Right, run the drills.
Exactly. And for each scenario, define precise step-by-step actions you would take. The goal is to create these rapid response playbooks. Having those ready means you can activate a pre-planned strategy in hours, not days, when things change. Our sources also really highlight leveraging ASCM education here for best practice case studies, planning frameworks. They offer real-world examples of how companies built these playbooks, learning from successes and failures. That's invaluable.
Okay, so to really put that power of what if into action and build robust resilience, here's your final immediate action plan. First, run what-if drills. Regularly simulate those tariff hikes, port delays, supplier shortages. Get cross-functional teams involved sourcing, logistics, sales, finance for a comprehensive response. The more you practice, the faster you react. Second, create rapid response playbooks. These aren't just theoretical documents. Define exact steps for each scenario. Assign clear responsibilities, communication protocols, escalation paths. Minimize confusion, ensure coordination when crisis hits. And third, leverage ASCM education. Tap into member access for those best practice case studies and planning frameworks from the Association for Supply Chain Management. Their resources offer proven methods to refine your scenario planning and response strategies.
Good checklist.
So, as we kind of bring this all together, what does this all mean for you? It really means proactive preparation isn't just, a good idea. It's absolutely essential for success in the 2025 holiday season. Holiday logistics leave very little margin for error, and for 2025, with all the tariff uncertainty, global volatility, shifting consumer demands, adaptability is undeniably the most valuable capability you can build in your supply chain. It's about being nimble, data-driven, and just relentlessly prepared.
That really is the core message. Reviewing that supplier exposure, booking freight early, safeguarding margins with dynamic pricing, running realistic scenario models now, all that will pay huge dividends come December. That's when customer demand is highest and the pressure is really on. Our sources definitely reinforce that the companies navigating this successfully won't be the ones that somehow avoided tariffs completely. That's often impossible, right? Instead, they'll be the ones that treated tariffs and other disruptions not as these uncontrollable obstacles, but as manageable, albeit complex variables. Variables that require skill, preparation, and, frankly, a willingness to invest in strategic resilience well before the rush hits. It's actually an opportunity for innovation, not just mitigation.
Well said. And if you are looking for help to stay ahead, the Association for Supply Chain Management, ASCM Houston, is deeply committed to equipping professionals like you. They offer the knowledge, tools, the network you need to lead through complex challenges like the ones this holiday season will inevitably bring. We're talking everything from advanced forecasting and risk mitigation training to peer-to-peer learning, certification programs. ASCM provides actionable resources you can put into practice immediately. As an ASCM member, you can access exclusive resources, advanced forecasting models, supply chain risk management workshops, a network of peers facing similar stuff, all designed to help you put these tips into action, from supplier audits right through to scenario simulations.
Great resource to tap into.
Definitely. So, as we've explored today, successfully navigating the 2025 holiday season. It means getting ahead of tariff impacts with early sourcing adjustments. It means diversifying your ports and routes, implementing dynamic pricing, and embracing rigorous scenario planning. It's about being agile, resilient, and most importantly, truly prepared.
And maybe this raises an important question for you listening. Beyond just getting through this holiday season, how might these very challenges actually become the catalyst? The catalyst for building a truly anti-fragile supply chain, one that doesn't just withstand disruption, but actually learns from it and grows stronger through it. Think about how these reactive measures we talked about could be transformed into proactive, long-term strategic advantages for your business.
A fantastic thought to ponder. We really hope this deep dive has equipped you with the insights to feel truly well-informed and strategically prepared for whatever the 2025 holiday season throws your way. Go forth and conquer those supply chain challenges.